9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
TGIF, good people. Thank God it's Friday, and welcome to another edition of Women's Wrestling Talk. It's WWT Live, rather. It's part of Women's Wrestling Talk. There it is. The #1 women's wrestling network on the planet. You ever say something and you're like, the rhythm of that is off? It doesn't quite feel right. That's where we are. Anyway, it is great to have you here for our final episode of WWT Live for 2024. And there's plenty to talk about as we have more news about SmackDown, Raw. Let's see. It was kind of wild on Dynamite Wednesday night. I got to give it to him. And there's a big pay-per-view coming for Ring of Honor tonight. But first and foremost, my people are with me. And if we're going to do this, it's best to do it with our people. That just makes sense.
It's
right?
the Queen Bee of WWT, Wrestling with Honey with
Honey Pop Predictions.
Honey's in the building. How are you?
I'm good. Happy Friday, everybody. Oh yes,
Friday.
I'm excited. I'm excited. There's a lot to look forward to, especially tonight and the weekend, and so much that's happened that we still have to talk about. I'm just happy to be here, and I can't wait to get into it.
Plenty to talk about, and of course, it's not the same unless we have at least one elected official with us.
It's Councilman Will Ferrell of Strattonville with his Parisiac constituents.
The councilman is here. How are you, sir?
I am tired. I went to sleep and I shouldn't have went to sleep.
Oh,
I shouldn't have napped. I was like, I'm gonna just lay there for a second.
Yeah.
Yikes.
And I did, and I looked at that clock and it said 3:05. And, you know, you get that little jolt that goes through your whole body and just gets you up.
Yeah.
I'm here, and now the slowdown hits, and you're just.
I feel you. Well, it's been a busy week for sure. So I understand the midday nap gets you. Well, I have to say greetings to all in the chat. Eric, good to see you. Dylan, yeah, we've survived 2024 for sure. Jeffrey, good to see you. Lewis, good to see you as well. And I kind of wish I had some sort of special. I got it. Goes like this.
Out on bail, first out of jail, California dreaming. Soon as I step on the scene, I'm hearing hoochie screaming, feeding for money and alcohol.
The boss lady's back. Hey, CK.
All right.
Wow. I thought it was gonna be something else, so I appreciate it. Hey, y'all. Hey,
Could have been.
It could have been. So
I appreciate you, Bonner, Professor, for being nice this time. So yeah.
You want to do this?
I said nice this time.
Insinuating that I'm not nice.
I'm just saying, you know, there have been times. So here's what happens, guys. So when it's just like Bonner and I, and we're, you know, doing our thing at the desk, it's all cool. But when other folks, and I'm not going to give away who the folks are and any of that stuff, because you guys will see in the new year. But when other folks come into play, like, you know, it's just like throw the Canadian under the bus. I'm just saying. But it's okay. Thank goodness for thick skin.
Is that what we're doing?
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, Professor, you've been accused.
Of
bus throwing.
Before we counteract that, because I've got proof. All things elite are here. All things Courtney. She has been Christmas caroling all throughout the Northeast. How are you, Courtney?
I am good. It is Friday. It's been good in this East Coast here, but it's Friday, ready to go. I may have some before Christmas. It's a possibility, but we shall see.
You may have some what before Christmas?
Have some what?
Christmas caroling.
Oh, okay.
We were all like, "Wait, what are you?"
I don't listen.
I was ready to hear. I was like, "Wait, where's the trombone man? What you
Where's the trombone? That's the
trombone was
question.
about to give.
Yeah, man.
No.
Yeah, it was about to be a thing.
Yeah, Professor, you've been accused of being
instigating.
Okay,
because he has to defend himself.
Let's just say this. True story. TK and I were talking. She already knows. That's why she's laughing already. TK and I were talking about a situation, and I asked a simple question. The question was, have you ever had the relative that you were trying to live up to, the relative that was in your family, relative that's accomplished quite a bit, they've done a lot, have you ever lived up to them? Or did you identify who that was? TK says, I'm the relative.
Without a hesitation. It's
like,
a fact.
What?
It's a fact.
And then she runs down her resume. I did this, I did that, I did this, I did that. Then she says, I am the show and tell.
Yeah. And that's a fact too.
Okay. I rest my case, ladies and gentlemen. Because you lose it, you never win. Oh boy! That stuff is
It's a fact though. He said that, and I'm like, I'm that person. I'm the cousin they talk about. I'm the aunt they talk about. Like, I'm the person who does the stuff that's not, conventional.
It's kind of funny, boss lady, because I somewhat understand.
Yeah.
Yes, Dylan, I like that.
I'm not trying to toot my own horn or anything.
I'm the table.
So wait a minute. Ain't you from the Caribbean?
Yeah,
she is.
Hasn't there been like stuff that has happened to the Caribbean?
You're talking about within family.
But are you telling me you have no freedom fighters in your family that like, yo, let me show you like what this person did to get us here, and now this is why you don't have none of those.
If there are some, they refuse to come to the table. So I am the table. They should have told those stories when I was growing up. Other than that, I paved my own way.
There's nobody like you looked up to at all.
I'm gonna say it like this right now.
This is like a whole TED talk. So if you're asking about somebody that I looked up to, the person that I look up to that I still look up to is my mom, because she's a ride or die. Period. Point blank.
Yep.
So there's that. However, when they talk about if you're talking about current present day, like who that person is.
That's not what I asked you. I said when you were a kid, we all were kids who had.
You didn't say.
I totally said that. And when they play the tape back,
TK, you sounded for you. You sounded real.
Me.
You sounded very Solo Sikoa right now.
Very Solo Sikoa.
Sounded very much like I am the chief. When that happened,
acknowledge me.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's gotta be some. I think.
So you tell. Okay, hold on. So you telling me
there are stories, but it still goes back to. So if we're gonna do that, then I would say that would be my mom, because she brought up a lot of people from South America to Canada. I'll say that. But if you're talking about like amazing things and the show and tell and all that stuff, that's me.
So let me ask you this. Family function all there. That's big me. Table.
That's me.
You sitting at the head of it. Ain't nobody finna tell you nothing.
Oh, well, the old person always sits at the head of it. You kind of know that.
But again, that means.
But technically,
what you want to get to, right?
Technically, you could swap things because, RIP, my grandmother is no longer here. So she was the head of the table. Now that I think about it, at my mom's surprise birthday party, which I surprised her at, she started crying. Shout out to my mom. I was at the head of the table. She was on the other side, and I was on the other side. Well, thank you, special little nobodies. I appreciate the love, because I think what happens is because I don't come here often enough, because I'm working so hard for the people, for my WWT people, that it's just like they just assume certain things. But it's okay, Professor. It's okay.
When I tell you this man is so fine, when I tell you this man is scrump dilly-ishous, he make me want to, oh God.
this? What is that?
What is that? I've never seen that.
I think that's got to be the other part of the person at the seat next to her at the head of the table.
That's
wow.
That's all day.
Wow.
Hey.
Anywho, here we are. Let's get into this last show. Well, do you want to do topics or do you want to do, because we are going to have another show next Friday.
It's your world.
Well, which one
You're at the head of the table. So
I feel like I'm at Thanksgiving right now.
I'm just
yeah, it's just sitting here sipping my tea.
I mean,
goodness.
the siblings are just like,
we're just sitting
Well, is there stuff you want to get into SmackDown? What you want to do, Professor? It's your show.
Honey, can you pass the yams, please?
Yeah.
I thought you wanted wings. It's your show, TK.
Let's get into some stories.
Okay, let's get into some stories. Where shall we start? Oh, well, you know what? This is actually probably a really good place to start. So
What up, cousin Ron? I have to tell you about your cousin. We'll talk about it offline.
I won't even get, there's another story, but I won't even. So WWE, I'm actually very interested in this. On the heels of what we talked about Wednesday with NXT's year-end awards, WWE has begun a tournament to crown the 2024 match of the year. Here are the matches that are up for grabs. And, you know, we'd probably have to show a graphic to let you see how they are bracketed. But here are the matches. Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. Of course, that's from WrestleMania. Sami Zayn versus Chad Gable. Bayley versus Io Sky. Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley. AJ Styles versus Cody Rhodes. Julia and Stephanie Vacour against Roxanne and Cora Jade. Gunther versus Sami Zayn. The NXT Women's Iron Survivor Challenge. Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. The Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Roman Reigns and The Rock versus Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. Randy Orton and Kevin Owens versus The Bloodline. Gunther versus Randy Orton. Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch. That's a WrestleMania match. Logan Paul versus Cody Rhodes. And CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. I know that's like 16 matches, but any ideas who you would say, oh, there we go, who you'd say would be the match of the year for WWE? I think, by the way, it's great that they've included several NXT matches in here as well.
Yes.
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. Did y'all see this?
See what?
Oh,
here we go. Here we go.
Yeah,
there we go.
Listen.
4166.
By the way, that's towards you, TK. That man's just so,
you know, she doesn't realize that. She's too busy at the head of the table to realize the other people trying to get to her at the table.
Wow.
He's saying TK looks beautiful and scrumptious. I don't want you.
I mean, he actually did say TK.
Yes.
So
I don't want you getting out here like, you know, he thinks the WWT panel is beautiful and scrumptious. No, you.
So what match are we talking about now?
Oh, now avoidance technique.
Wow.
Okay.
I don't want us on here for 2 hours. You know, it is Friday. It's headed into Christmas weekend, all the things. So I'm looking out for y'all. You're welcome.
Which one y'all like better? Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns or Sami Zayn versus Chad Gable?
Man, are you kidding? Is that really?
Quick fire pick.
Well,
Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns.
It might be quicker just to see which of these you'd vote as the match of the year, because we could take the whole show on this alone.
You really could.
You really could.
Yeah.
I'm actually breaking this tournament down in my head right now.
Because tournament style is going to make this interesting to see what gets to the final.
I tell you who's the final two on the left side. Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns and the Women's Iron Survivor.
Yeah. On that left, it's Cody. Yeah, WrestleMania.
But it's crazy because at the winner of it all, for me, it has got to be Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. That's just me. I am somewhat biased on that, but halfway, like also making 100% sense because in my head anyway, because Everybody was anticipating that match. And
I'm gonna be honest though. CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre.
That was a problem.
Yeah,
that was a problem.
That's a final on the right side. That's a semi-final.
That's final on the right.
That was a problem.
Yes.
Because you just need them two. One can say you just needed them two. Cody and Roman, like they needed a whole cast for that match to be that match. So one can argue like,
well, that cast is on the other side, on the right. Rhodes and Rollins versus and Roman Reigns and The Rock. That's crazy. This is a crazy bracket. Whoever came up.
It is.
So we're not showing any love to Logan Paul.
Nah, not as match of the year.
I just
that wouldn't like Logan versus Cody wouldn't even be best match.
I don't even know why that's in the top 16.
Yeah, if this had been Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens, then I would say that.
Yeah,
that's another story.
The Shutdown King on IG is saying Roman versus Punk.
Gunther and Randy. If they're talking Gunther and Randy for the King of the Ring.
Oh, wait. He said Roman versus Punk for next WrestleMania, I guess. That's what he meant by that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So will we all agree that Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns and then CM Punk versus Drew, those are the finals?
Yeah.
I'm actually going to put an honorary mention in there because this is a match not many people talk about, the women's Money in the Bank.
I was just going to say
because
it's in here. It's in
there.
No,
it's in there, but I'm just saying
close.
Like that's a semi-final kind of match.
Yeah,
too.
that's what I was going to think.
Very
Semi-final in my head is like the women's Money in the Bank.
I'm looking through this list. This is, I mean, you end up with women's Money in the Bank in my mind against night one of the Mania main event, and that's a tough one.
Yeah,
that's a tough one.
That is a tough one because that was also cinema.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. But then you get CM Punk and Drew McIntyre going up against that one, and that was woo, man.
Gunther and Randy wasn't bad either.
It wasn't. But because
I would give it to Rhea and Becky. Yeah, I give it to Rhea and Becky on that one.
It's hard not to put any of these in the finals. Like they all deserve to be in this bracket. I will say that.
Yeah.
But I might have to go with Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, man. That in the whole winner, because that roar from the crowd and when that referee pinned 3 and Cody finished the story and everything like that, like it was it was pretty wild though. That was, you're still talking about it, and it happened back in April.
I will
like 5 years.
I'll say this though. The Julia Stephanie Vakor versus Jade and Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez, that would definitely beat the AJ versus Cody match for me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah. Crowd wise, it was great, but it was like, but between as far as the matches go, like
right.
But it doesn't beat the women's Iron Survivors match.
No, and that's the thing. Then you have the Iron Survivor, because I think the women's Iron Survivor beats Gunther and Sami Zayn.
Yep.
Yeah.
So women's Iron Survivor, and now that's wild because you'd end up potentially with that the 2 NXT matches.
half of and and basically all the women on that match is pretty much in the women's Iron Survivor.
Yeah, with the exception of what's her name? Zarya.
Yes.
Zarya and Soruka.
Yeah.
And Ren Sinclair. Wow. This is fun. I like this.
Nice little puzzle here.
Nice little.
But what are we agreeing with? Like match of the year? Is it Cody Rhodes versus Roman? Are we all agreeing with that?
I'm saying yes.
I would say yes too.
I guess.
I mean,
I don't really. I mean, you go through the whole thing, start to finish. It probably ends up being that versus Punk and McIntyre.
Yeah.
And that's really a hard one because Punk and McIntyre was so highly anticipated and it delivered on so many levels. I think it's the twists and turns for the Cody and Roman one that made that one so memorable. It was Cena and then Rock and then
Everything
Taker.
that led up to it.
Yeah.
Everything.
Can I ask this though? What else do you remember about that match besides all of the Avengers coming out?
I don't remember much. That and then the ending. So
now, how much do you remember about Drew and Punk?
Well, obviously there's more to remember there, I think. So
I might have to go with Drew and Punk as match of the year.
Yeah.
Like that was a great movie type thing to see with Cody and Roman for WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the better match was CM Punk and Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
The feud was great. What it led to was great. The spots in there was great. Like I think we talked about that yesterday on Knockouts of 3 Counts. Like that's the first time in a while seeing like the Hell in a Cell be used the proper way.
Right.
Trapping 2 men in here. The spot where Drew hit on the steel chair. I mean the steel steps, pulling out the beads and pouring them in his mouth. It's like I said, I get all the glory of all the people coming out, but I remember more about the CM Punk Drew McIntyre match than I do Cody and Roman.
And you don't even like Punk.
I don't.
I know.
That's
I tell you that, dog.
That's a
whole lot.
Yeah,
that was a good match.
Wow.
It was definitely a good match. I would put those two as my final two, but I got Cody and Roman winning.
And it's understandable.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh.
So
yeah,
I believe you can vote on this at some particular point somewhere. So be on the lookout for that. But that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool to see how that's going to go down. So kind of in the vein of a WrestleMania type of situation, Triple H recently went on the podcast called Appearing on the Roommate Show with Brunson and Josh Hart. And he decided on there to book 6 of the all-time draws of WWE history for his dream WrestleMania card. And so it involved, if you could imagine this, he thought Hulk Hogan versus Steve Austin in their prime would be a perfect WrestleMania match. He also chose to put John Cena in his prime against Bruno Sammartino in his prime, which I think is crazy.
Okay.
And then the third match of those 6 superstars was The Undertaker versus Andre the Giant.
Oh my God.
Oh man.
What are your thoughts on this dream card from Triple H for WrestleMania featuring the top 6 of the top attractions in the history of the company?
Damn.
I feel like this was The Rock versus Macho.
So that leads to another question. If you are booking a fantasy match for WrestleMania that has not happened, what match would it be?
Ooh.
AJ Styles versus Shawn Michaels.
Ah,
good one.
That's a good
one.
That's a good one.
Sting versus The Undertaker.
That was mine. So, yeah. That was mine.
I bet I'll keep throwing these out because I already. I'm still going to Rock versus.
I kind of want to see. It'd be like Jazz and Jacqueline versus like Bianca and Jade.
Give me China versus Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, that would be good.
Oh my God.
I mean, China versus anybody. Like
honestly.
Oh yeah, honestly, anybody with China.
Wow.
I want. Does it have to be just WWE?
AJ Lee versus Alina Vega.
I'm going Eddie Guerrero versus Will Ospreay.
Oh, now that's dope.
And we probably need to take a moment to talk about the Ospreay Darby Allin match from Wednesday night because
yo,
them boys,
there. Oh my God,
that match was fire.
It was like two Power Rangers was fighting in the ring.
Yeah,
I'm gonna just say this to Darby Allin. I apologize, and I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna stop telling you to just sit your ass down and go home and lay down. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna stop telling you. You do what you do, but keep giving me things like that. And honestly, I want to see that again at a pay-per-view on a grander scale, like because that was just utterly ridiculous, like in the best way ever.
Do you find that some of the matches with AEW, it's not to say that they shouldn't do this, but it seems like sometimes they have banger matches on TV, and then when it comes to the pay-per-view, it's like sometimes it's like lackluster. It's like, well, why didn't you put that match there? Like, do you like? I mean, maybe Courtney, because you watch it all the time and you do our post show, so y'all make sure you catch the post show. Do you find that, or is that just I'm not catching it?
It's really interesting how they put on some of these good matches. And sometimes it can be a hit or miss when it comes to pay-per-views. And I know in the past we have talked about long-term storytelling effects for AEW, but it's just so interesting because when you see Dynamite and even Collision, like they have some really good matches on Collision, and you're just like, how come this was not on a pay-per-view? How come this was not on World's End? But also, it's just kind of really keeping that foot forward because I know we have talked about getting that stability from them, especially short-term and long-term. But I'm not going to say all, but some pay-per-view matches they do make sense. It's just really hard because sometimes there are some that have high expectations, but they don't deliver. And there are some that do, not many people talk about, but they deliver. So it's kind of really, I don't want to say hit or miss, but it's always an interesting realm when you catch it, because that's how I feel. And even when I talked about on the post show, it's just like, wow, why couldn't this be at World End or even on another pay-per-view? But that's just how I look at it from a different angle.
Okay.
I mean, to that particular point, though, I wonder, shouldn't they at least strive for more consistency? So, like, it's hard to gain footing if you're not sure of what you're going to get, So if the matches on Dynamite and Collision are better than the matches on pay-per-view, and you're asking me to spend $50 on pay-per-view, why do that when I can just turn on cable and watch that? While we're here, a big shout out to our second elected official who's joining us from Parts Unknown. Said, good to see you, sir.
Hey, parts unknown is crazy.
Well, I mean, I don't know which highway you're driving on or which community you are doing business in, so I don't want to blow your cover there.
I appreciate that, and you hit that right in the head. Which communities I'm doing business in, because we will have some new cities obtained in the new year.
That's about to pound the streets.
This is
his face. His.
Wow.
This can't be no finale though, y'all. Ain't nobody dressed festive.
We're having our award show next Friday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
but that's
the message that's pinned to the top in the chat.
That's still post Christmas though. Like, ain't no onesies, ain't no Santa hats, nothing.
It's not so figure like next week.
Christmas is on Wednesday.
Yeah, today's Friday.
Before Christmas, like you don't do Christmas things after Christmas.
Well, unfortunately, said some of us are still working. So, like after this, I'm going back to work. So.
Sorry. I'm just going to mute after that.
She's been up since 3.
I actually have been.
She's been up since 3 a.m. Yeah,
TK just called me broken Canadian. She said, I'm at work.
Did.
That's a lie. That's not even true.
Did. Mm-hmm. That's because she's the head of the table, in case you didn't know. In case you didn't know.
Basically,
I'm the tribal chief around here. Yeah, you see me. the tribal chief. That's right.
That's right. That's right. Speaking of AEW, there's several pieces of AEW news. One of the big pieces that has dropped is that they will, starting January 1st, they will be simulcasting all of their episodes of Dynamite and I think Collision as well. All those shows will simulcast on TBS and Max. So it won't just be Fight for the Fallen. It'll be all of their shows, and they will become, in essence, the first wrestling company for sure to simulcast on both cable and a streaming platform. So that's happening. And then we need to talk about this, because congratulations are out to Tony Khan, who has been named one of the top deal makers of 2024 by Variety, which is actually kind of amazing when you think about it. And in that story, it is reported that AEW is now valued at $2 billion, making it the third most valuable combat sports company in the world. Now, of course, they had their big media rights deal this year with Warner Brothers Discovery that will give them a whopping $185 million a year. That is where we're starting to see, of course, the simulcast that'll happen on Max. I've also heard that the pay-per-views will be heading to Max. And that's the other piece of news, is that the pay-per-view library of AEW is headed to Max, dating back to 2019. So some of the things that we had talked about for a while for AEW with Max are getting ready to happen. I guess my first question to you guys is your thoughts on Tony Khan being named one of the deal makers. And mind you, this is not a wrestling publication that's doing it. Variety magazine, very well respected in the entertainment community. WWE and TKO is also on this list, but I think it's pretty interesting. What are your thoughts on Tony Khan making the deal makers list and AEW being evaluated at valued at $2 billion?
Okay, so this is very interesting. It depends on what they quantified, or what qualities, or what they decided who made this list and what they used to make this list. Because to me, I feel like it's far, and I'm not downgrading what the fake TK has done, but now we need to open up the books. That's one thing, and it's a private company as far as I know, so that's kind of sketchy. Not sketchy in that, but like who's opening up the books for that? I think that WWE has made way more deals and have done way more amazing things. I feel like all in this year. This year has felt like, because I always think back to like Philly of this year, but that literally feels like 2 or 3 years ago. Like this year has felt like a very long. So I'm just thinking about everything that's transpired with the NXT and CW and everything that they're doing with TKO, and the PLEs that they're doing overseas, and the deals that they have with Saudi, all that stuff. And I feel like I guess the news that we're getting, that we're ingesting, WWE is probably, or not even WWE, Nick Khan, because I think I shouted him out yesterday on one of the podcasts. I think Nick Khan has been doing a crazy deal, like crazy deals, since he's got to WWE. So I don't know if that's, in my books, that might not be as accurate.
Now, Professor, did you say this year, right?
This year, deal makers 2024.
Now, having a majority though of WWE deals, they've been happening before 2024. Like, I'm asking, I don't know.
Well, the Netflix deal happened this year. The CW deal happened this year. Both of those happened this year. Let's see. The deal to USA, taking SmackDown to USA, those were all media rights deals that happened this year. Massive deals. Of course, the USA deal was like 1.5 billion over 5 years. The CW deal was like 30 to 40 million over per year over 5 years, and of course, the Netflix deal being $5 billion over 10 years. So,
and then we're also talking about what are we also including the deals that they do in the ring, because now they have the deal with Prime. They have a whole bunch of other deals that they're getting for the commercials,
and that's a new thing for WWE. Remember, this was the year where all of a sudden now these sponsors would get prime real estate on the ring mat, on the apron, around the ring. That was very different than what had been happening previously. And it has been the biggest year, you hear it every pay-per-view or every PLE, for these sponsorships that are happening with WWE. So they are making massive deals. And on the WWE end of it, the TKO end of it, Ariel Emanuel, Nick Khan, Mark Shapiro, and Andrew Schlemmer are the ones who are mentioned on this deal makers list as well, for TKO and WWE, which makes all the sense in the world. And remember this. Oh, this is the other thing that most of us forgot. It feels like it's been forever, but the deal for TKO was actually closed at the top of this year.
Ooh.
Are these deals exclusive just to Tony Khan as it pertains to AEW, or some of his other business ventures as well? Because he was the one awarded, right?
He was the one recognized, and he was recognized specifically for his work with AEW.
Okay. So just for AEW, because it had me thinking if there was maybe something on the side with the Jaguars as well.
I mean,
Nope.
I gotta say though,
AEW.
This is where time is what gets you over on that. Because to take a company like that 5 years and it's now worth $2 billion,
it's a big deal.
That's a big deal.
It's a very big deal.
And I would say I think that's what leveraged it over of what WWE is doing. That's something we expect WWE to do. We expect you to continue to rise. Well, as much as we've made fun of them about everybody talking about like the seats being filled and all of this stuff, like $2 billion, an $185 million a year deal with Warner Brothers. That's something to say. That's an accomplishment for a company that they didn't think was going to even last outside of 5 years.
So here's what's interesting to that end, and I'm sure TK can attest to this. When you're not exactly sure of how a company is earning its revenue, you tend to think that they're earning their revenue the same way every other company seems to earn its revenue. So with that said, you would make the mistake of measuring WWE's success based solely on who's in the arena and who's not, because everything we've talked about in terms of their big deals has nothing to do with what's happening in the arena. It's the media rights deals. It's, the sales. It's it is the advertising. It is those kinds of things, which is to say that WWE doesn't necessarily make all of its money solely from an arena show. Granted, that's obviously a good portion, but you add the merch in there, you add what all these other things are doing. I think where most of us may be missing the mark when it comes to AEW, we're measuring AEW's success solely based off of what we see inside of an arena. And where we could be missing the mark is whatever they're doing to have earned $185 million a year from Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers Discovery knows something we don't know.
Yeah.
Because they're not giving out $185 million a year to a startup company.
Right.
And they canceled the Batgirl movie. So, they serious.
So,
Michael Keaton twice.
So there's that. Couple that with obviously the deal that's now happening on Max. There is something that AEW is doing that is appealing to the corporations that fans don't understand. And that happens to be okay. And
their video game actually did some real big numbers too. I didn't realize how big the video game was.
Shout out to the fake TK. Number 3 ain't bad behind WWE and Women's Wrestling Talk, respectively. That's a good mark.
So the question is this: do you think? And definitely shout out to the fake TK for that, because it is within 5 years within 5 years to do that is really good. So don't like. I'm not questioning that because he is a businessman. He's been in business for a long period of time. My question is, because WWE is doing so well, when other companies like, okay, well, I can't get WWE or I can't necessarily afford WWE, but here's the closest number two to it. Like, do you think the success of WWE is also helping AEW because more companies want to get on board, but they necessarily can't, afford the WWE ticket price, but they can afford the AEW ticket price? Do you think AEW would be where it is now if WWE didn't start excelling when it did?
I think we talked about it last night. The tide raises all ships. Mm-hmm. And WWE is definitely at the helm of that tide. But I do have to say, I don't think WWE wouldn't have been able to reach that point as where we are right now. I think if you didn't have AEW, because as much as we say like WWE is not paying attention to them, having another major wrestling promotion on television, pay-per-views, now streaming services, it increased the visibility of wrestling. It made people go, okay, well, what are they talking about now? It's like they talking about Monday Night Wars back, WWE, now AEW. It got people's eyes on wrestling more. The independent scene, as we could say, has also been the hottest it's been because most people now know who MLW is, who CMLL is, Stardom, New Japan, like all of that stuff is now coming over here, and we want to get our hands on it. So I think all of it kind of worked together to create that, but because WWE is already such a big machine, it just knows how to do it to where it shows you the right way. But I think everybody needed one another for this to happen.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think we have to acknowledge that when WWE is winning, everybody has a chance to win. And I think that's one of the reasons why the war makes no sense, because consider this, if you aren't, one of the reasons AEW even came into existence is because they did not like what the WWE product was doing. So again, whether you like it or not, it is still generating business. What it ultimately ends up happening is as these companies are successful, it allows the indies to become more successful as well, because it's a trickle-down effect. Everybody gets to make money, and then the indies now get an opportunity to get a chance on a larger scale. So everybody wins. I think when it comes to an AEW, part of the real adjustment is figuring out, okay, so who's our fan base, and what are the size of the spaces that we should be renting to present this product? I think they have to make the adjustments, and they likely forget, and many forget. WWE is super hot right now, but there was a period where WWE, while doing Monday Night Raw, were in high school gymnasiums. Like people tend to forget that, so WWE wasn't always riding high like it is now. Any business goes through its ebbs and flows. So I think if AEW right now can figure out how to maximize this time in a 2,500 seat venue and make it look well and make it look great. One of the great things that happens on TV is this: a crowd draws a crowd. So if you have 2,500 people, if you shoot it right, it'll look like 10,000. And that will attract more people to want to show up to that particular show. And then you'll eventually grow to larger spaces.
Yeah. And also going to your point, Professor, because I think a couple months ago I put it in the chat because there was a report floating around that actually AEW is actually going to smaller venues ahead of 2025. So that is a start for them to at least go into smaller venues. So at least they save a little bit of money and they don't have to shoot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, well, we saw that Wednesday night.
Yep.
Yeah. The venue they were in DC seats 2,500. When they did their first show in DC, they were in an arena that seats 15,000.
Yep.
So they're in Hammerstein Ballroom this weekend.
Yep, this weekend.
And then also too, sold out is sold out.
So that part.
Yep.
Oh,
And,
yeah. You can be like, oh, you can't sell out Wembley. Okay, but I sold out 83 shows this year.
Right.
You can't tell me I hadn't sold these things out. So
exactly.
And them folks still getting paid. Mercedes is still getting her check. So
and that's the thing, is they're getting the money to continue to pay these wrestlers, and nobody has been talking about bounce checks from AEW. So for all
which is way more important than anything else.
Yes,
Listen, we'll run a show with 50 seats if everybody's getting paid. You know?
And also too, the exclusivity of that too. So imagine being like, oh man, AEW gonna be here, and you can't get it because it's sold out.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
That makes you want to go see it even more. And then you start seeing, like, if you had like the matches you had Wednesday, you like, I didn't get a chance to go see that live in person. Like,
right.
The demand comes where it's like, yo, go to bigger spaces. Okay. Y'all gonna show up? Yes, we will.
Yeah.
Because we can't now.
What we got next?
Excuse me.
Yo, Professor.
There's some like interesting comments in there as well that I've been trying my hardest not to laugh at.
I'm trying.
Oh, good Lord. I didn't even notice. I wasn't even looking at the comments.
I was.
I was peeking through it. I was just like, okay.
Well, all of this talk about arenas and seating and the like, TNA, their Slammiversary pay-per-view tickets have gone on sale. They will be in the New York City area at the UBS Arena. Tickets actually go on sale today. And that pay-per-view is July 20th. So they are obviously looking to sell this out. The UBS Arena actually was the home for last year's World's End pay-per-view from AEW. So it's going to be interesting to see how well TNA does on that, because this is a larger arena than they are accustomed to. Interestingly enough, this arena is used for concerts and NHL games specifically, and it has a capacity between 17 and 19,000. So I don't know if their setup is going to try to get 17,000 people in there, or if they're going to, kind of do some sort of augmented setup. Either way, for a company that normally does 2,500 to 3,000, pushing things up to this kind of a lofty goal is something to see. And with them starting to sell tickets this early, makes you wonder if they could certainly pull it off.
They can do it. They can do it.
I think they could too.
They can do it.
TNA's got where it needs to where, again, like you said, like we just talked about, the tide raises all ships. I think in 2025, all promotions should try to go for it. Like, this is a time where wrestling is now a demand from consumers. So I think it is a dope time for you to go ahead and do this and just make sure all of your attractions are right. Like, even look at NXT. We don't stay in Orlando anymore. Like, we actually start trying to make sure we go to different venues and have different spots. So it's like, yo, they're starting to take their chances, and as they should.
Indeed. Any other thoughts on TNA's ability to potentially sell out a 14 or 15,000 seat arena?
Well, I think where they are right now, seeing TNA on NXT has definitely increased their visibility. I also think that having people like Chelsea Green, who posted a picture today of her when she was in NXT and her in WWE, kind of people seeing that they might not be familiar with the TNA product of past, but the connection, like, oh, my favorite wrestler used to wrestle at TNA. Let me go and see what that's about. I think the crossovers and what they've been doing in the last, again, it was like last year, the end of last year, that they debuted, like they went from Impact to TNA, right?
They announced it. It was official top of this year.
That's
Again,
crazy.
more stuff that was 2024.
More stuff. So they announced it. The quality, the product has increased as well. So I feel like just like what Will was saying, the wrestling is in demand right now, but the product is really hot too. And that partnership with WWE, seeing people that are like the Jordan Graces of it all, on WWE, it makes you want to see like, oh, I wonder what they're doing over there. Because there's no way that another thing too, there's no way that WWE would partner with trash. You know what I'm saying? So it's like WWE is essentially co-signing them. So you're going to want to see that product as well.
Yeah.
What?
Who oohed?
I heard somebody ooh. I didn't know who.
I was like, ooh. It doesn't partner with trash.
Oh my God.
It was just so light, but subtle, but it still cut through. Like, who did that?
Yeah, I heard that. I did hear that.
I have a question. It's like I'm driving. I keep hearing it. I have to know. Courtney, what's in the bowl?
What's in the bowl? Oh my God! I had to make myself some soup because I had a bad cold the last couple of days, and I'm still.
I know. I just ate. I'm getting hungry again. I just want to know what's in the bowl.
No, I just made myself some homemade soup, homemade miso soup.
I was gonna ask what's in the soup, but you said it was miso soup, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Love miso soup.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
All right. Well,
I was gonna ask too, so thank you for asking.
Important questions around here.
I tell you.
What else we gotta talk about? You want to do SmackDown real quick, and then do some feel good Christmas stuff for Sen?
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll quickly mention this one. Apparently, and I'm really quite shocked for this. Apparently, we are going to see the end of NXT Level Up. Apparently, the tapings that happen this Friday will be the final tapings for the Level Up program, which is kind of shocking to me. Oh gosh, because I think Level Up had been a really good show to give kind of the newer faces, which had not made it to NXT, an opportunity to get some reps and get some exposure. Thoughts on Level Up going away? Honey?
A little sad about that, but I understand that, we have WWE ID now and, a whole bunch of other outlets and ways to, keep bringing in the new talent and the machine rolling with WWE. So I'm not really worried. I definitely think that we're going to see a lot more from those individuals that were part of NXT Level Up as well. So, because there's plenty of opportunity to go around. So, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a hurtful loss, but it's unfortunate.
Indeed. All right, so let's see. We've got heads up for SmackDown tonight, which of course you'll be able to watch the SmackDown watch along at the top of the next hour. Braun Strowman will be taking on Carmelo Hayes once again to run it back after what happened last week. Johnny Gargano takes on Alex Shelley. We'll have the Bloodline. All three members of the Bloodline, which include Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, and Tama Tonga, against LA Knight, Andrade, and Apollo Crews. And then Kevin Owens is supposed to appear on SmackDown tonight. I don't know if he'll have the Winged Championship with him. Then there will be a tag team title match as Bianca Belair and her new tag team partner, Naomi, will defend against the women's champion, Nia Jax, and Candice LeRae. So all of that's going down tonight on SmackDown.
Ooh.
And we're having a post show,
of course,
right?
again, you can watch.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. We'll turn this down to the capable hands of our boss, TK. What did I do now?
The head of the table.
TK got an all-white background and became a bully.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. All right. In honor of said and going into Christmas, we will have a award show next Friday, but it's gonna be after Christmas. And said was very disappointing that we weren't in our onesies. Didn't send a memo, so it is what it is.
I didn't know that was the dress code.
I didn't know it was a dress code either, but
Festive. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're driving it, so you would have been in your onesie driving? Like, what are we doing?
If I was at home, because I had the holiday luncheon, I was a little late too, I would have been in a onesie today in a Santa hat. 100%.
My head's too big for a Santa hat, and it causes PTSD. I don't try. Yeah. I put one on one year and it got stuck. And wasn't a good look. Wasn't a good look.
Wow.
Yeah, my mama told me not to put the hat on, and I ain't listen. So she said, now you can keep the hat on. Yeah. And screw Santa hats. That's all I got to say.
All right.
Let's go with maybe how we plan on celebrating Christmas and what you're thankful for the holidays. We'll start with Ced, since he is disappointed that we're not wearing onesies.
What am I doing for the I don't actually, that's a loaded question. I don't know what I'm doing for the holidays yet. I imagine I'll be with some family. I will be working the NFL slate that day as well. So still up in the air, but I'm happy to be working the NFL slate. I think I'm working the whatever game has Beyonce on it. I think that's the one I'm on. So
nice.
That should be fun. So I'm thankful for the NFL. Obviously thankful for everybody here in this platform. Thankful for my savior, Lola Vice, and everything she's done to add credibility to my life this year. It's been a very, very fruitful year since I became a part of Vice City. I'm thankful for TK cutting the check for Monday Night Mayor. You know, that gets to keep happening. I know TK is in the background working on a Skims deal for me in 2025. So a lot of big things coming next year. So I'm thankful for all that. Onward and upward.
All right. Well, we have the mayor. Well, we do councilman.
I'm thankful for wings. I'm thankful for all the wings that you have. Lemon pepper, hot wings, just wings. I'm so grateful for them. And yams. And mac and cheese. Even milk. I like to look at the milk. I don't buy the milk, but I like to look at the milk. I'm thankful for that.
Play the clip.
Thankful for all.
Dylan, you know what to
do. But most importantly, I am thankful that I found this spot. It is very random that TK doesn't know this, but it was like someone put out like a list of people to follow, like of like Black women business owners to follow, and like TK was on that list.
Oh.
So I was just like, oh, okay. And so I just hit follow because of her body butters. And so I was like, okay, cool. You know, like someone to follow, keep up with. Had no idea about this like whole wrestling style.
This body butter?
Yeah, that one right there.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Right here.
Ah, that's so cool.
Hey, yo, wait a minute.
Wait a damn minute. I ain't got no body butter yet.
Ooh, I would like some of that.
Yo, that's wild that you live out here, Stan. So that's even colder.
Wow.
You ship body butter across states.
Wow.
And I can't I can't exfoliate my skin.
Well, to be honest, what's happening is, if you guys read the chat, Will's supposed to drop because we have new merch coming out. So for all you who are listening, we have some dope merch coming out, like really, really great stuff. And the merch is going to be partnered with some stuff. So when you guys say what shirt you want, then you'll also get some of the body butter too.
I love how she did not answer his question. And
I just saw TK a couple months ago. You didn't have no body butters in the trunk. You could have been like, yo, try my product.
In my defense, I ended up coming home yesterday or the day before yesterday, home to a package at my door.
Your story's not going to make it any better for Seth.
I know.
Go on,
I'm just saying, I didn't know, so I don't know why he's yelling at me.
I'm gonna lie, I was this close to mentioning it too. I was like,
hey, I'm not wearing no more lotion the rest of these days, so I get some body butter delivered to my address. I'm coming up here all types of chafed, ashy, until that body butter is on my doorstep.
We're gonna see his hands. We're gonna see his hands more often when he's talking. So yeah, the
right.
Let's talk about it. Let's make sure we.
He's gonna be on the poster for.
I never even got an EST at WWT shirt, but I'm responsible for that.
That should have actually reached your doorstep. I'm about to. That was ordered prior to Will, and that should have been at your house. That's why I had asked you for your address, but we'll discuss. Yeah.
You couldn't put no body butter in the package. Just to clarify.
What's crazy is I don't even know how Boss Lady got my address. That's the crazy part.
Man.
You can find where I stay at. But yeah, somehow I got all his stuff.
Am I finding out that I'm the black sheep with WWT? Am I the black sheep?
Wait, what a way to find out after you wanted us to be festive, and now.
All right. Well, Will, is there any?
The tables have turned.
I know. Thanks for the list. Whoever put it out, I appreciate whoever that person was.
Oh yeah, that was what we was talking about, huh?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Good to be on a positive list. I like that.
Yes, but didn't know she was doing all this, and then just from there to where we are now, I am very thankful for that. And what I'm doing for Christmas is, I don't know. I'm probably like the city don't be empty on Christmas, so me and my friends probably gonna go break some scooters and then go ride all throughout downtown, since don't nobody be down here.
Nice.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Downtown is beautiful when it's empty and ain't nobody here.
Facts, definitely facts. I definitely agree to that.
Couple of weeks ago, yeah.
Courtney, what you thankful for? What you doing for the holidays?
Oh, there's a lot. There's a lot. Well, of course, Christmas, other than working Christmas Eve, I get to spend time with my family because my sister will be in town from Florida. So it'll be nice because it'll be that and her birthday. Of course, NFL slate on Christmas Day. Obviously watching Dynamite on Christmas Day. But definitely spending time with my family. It's hard to believe I joined back in August. I sent an email to Boss Lady telling her who I was, and here we are. Considering the fact, I will say it has been a fun journey. It has been really fun, definitely getting everything, and I'm really excited to not only tap into my own qualities, but also lots of opportunities are happening, and I'm very excited specifically on the AEW side because there is a lot to cover. But I didn't realize since I started these watch-alongs, a lot of people will be watching a lot more AEW. So that's a kudos to me. That's a plus, and I'm really excited for that. A lot in store for 2025, but 2026, I plan to do it internationally because my goal is Wembley Stadium, all in. It's going to happen in 2026. But I'm grateful to be on this, and I'm ready to kick off the new year.
And as always,
can't forget about the trombone.
Don't forget.
International Courtney Rice, sponsored by TK's Body Butter.
I have that clip somewhere. I know.
My goodness. Oh my goodness. Professor.
It's been actually a great year, especially in the space of pro wrestling. And so it is a. Carry on. I'll be right back.
I'm about to say that sounded like that was over here too. I was like, oh no.
It sounded very paranormal.
Hey, I want the carry on with the finger wave clips, by the way.
Yeah.
That has to be how we throw the commercials from now on.
Yes.
We get very awkward. Just let's.
Honey, did you go?
I don't think I did. No.
Okay, you could go.
So I am thankful, obviously, to be alive and to be able to do this kind of stuff.
Look at the milk. I don't buy the milk, but I like.
What? Dylan.
I didn't do that. That was not me. I'm, I'm thankful for doing stuff like this. I'm thankful for meeting you guys. This has been a really, really fun ride with you guys for the first year. About to be like a whole year doing this with y'all, like
Crazy.
January, I think, or February, something like that. I'm grateful for my husband, aka Pachu. I am grateful for my doggy, Frankie. I am grateful for my family. Shout outs to my fam. They're a little bit of everywhere. They're in Florida. I got my little brother in the Air Force in Japan with his wife. I also have my other little brother, my sister, my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law. I'm grateful for, my friends. I am grateful for my job. I am. pays the bills. I'm just, it's just been a really, really cool year. Just another year of learning myself even more and seeing what I can handle and what I'm ready to take on. And I'm just excited to keep pursuing this with y'all because this has just been so much fun. And I just want to keep doing it. And I'm going to be actually for the holidays. Tomorrow actually is my holiday party at the gig. So I'm going to be having a lot of fun there. Pretty much just going around and bringing Christmas gifts to the family and stuff like that and hanging with Pachu, calling it a day.
And after a few drinks, she gonna be
Gunter, the ring general Gunter.
Wow. Oh my god.
Listen,
Wow.
I don't regret doing that at all. That's a great clip.
Wow.
I'm proud of a few things that I've been able to pull off on this show this year, and that is definitely one of them.
That's awesome.
That's my favorite clip. That's my favorite clips.
I love it. I love it. And I'm truly, truly thankful for you guys and Boss Lady TK taking me in under her wing. And, I had my first little media scrum year this year, which was really exciting. It was just really cool. And I just can't wait to keep learning and keep growing with y'all. I love it.
There it is. Little Professor okay there?
It sounded real paranormal-ish. I'm not gonna lie, I was worried for a second.
Yeah. Well, I've told him tons of times, couches are for bottoms and not for feet. He has, I'm telling the world on him now. He'll love it. He is a big fan of Sonic the Hedgehog. And, he just feels like he can do. And so he likes when I'm not in the living room with him, so he can stand up on the couch and jump and think he's in the trampoline park. And instead of jumping on the couch, he landed on the floor. Oh. And yeah, so his knees are hurting him, but he's fine. He's a boy. He will recover quickly. And so made sure he was okay. But yeah.
Real quick, I also wanted to say I'm thankful for everybody in the chat. Continue to keep, loving us and supporting us.
Oh, yes.
That was one last thing. That's it.
No, for sure. I will echo that. Shout out to you guys in the chat. You have been incredibly supportive to all of us here in WWT land and then in our other endeavors as well. So I appreciate that. It has been a really good year for me in the sport of wrestling. I've had a chance to do a lot of things this year. My first year working Mania week. Getting to do an awful lot with Ashe this year. Definitely some great tours with All Caribbean. You guys probably won't believe it, but this year was the first time TK and I actually met face to face. And then we've been joined at the hip ever since. That's right, Honey and the whole crew. So
I think meeting y'all in person was one of my favorite parts of the year.
I
can't wait till we're all in the same room.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
we fun. Had a really, really good time. And so Wale Mania and just great moments. And the moments that I can't talk about that were equally great in the sport, I'm very, very appreciative. And so definitely thankful for all of the opportunities and for what's next. I'm learning that if you just take the time to assess and reassess what's happened, you kind of start to see a pattern building. And so 2023 was a really good year. 2024 in terms of wrestling has been a very good year. And if that is the launch pad, 2025 should be an awful lot of fun. I mean, at least we know there's at least one TV deal out there. So some exciting things are on the horizon, and I am grateful. By the way, TK, we learned this Wednesday. Jeffrey is actually in the British Virgin Islands.
Oh.
And he gets Tempo Networks.
Oh.
Yes. So
you know what? We should actually dang, can you send me that in the WhatsApp so I can see it, make sure that is going to, and also if we can do a tour there.
Yeah, I mean, he told us here in the chat that, because I was talking about the TV deal and Tempo, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I have Tempo," and I was like, "Wow." I thought he was in the States, but then that's where I figured he was in like the tri-state area or something, and that's when he told us he's in the British Virgin Islands. So,
oh man, Jeffrey, get this.
Yeah,
you're gonna see some stuff.
It's gonna be fun, Jeffrey. I promise you. So, yeah, shout out to everybody. And in terms of the holiday, kind of a Christmas tradition that I started a few years ago is I like to go to the movies on Christmas. And so I've got some movies to catch up on Christmas and during Christmas break. And I also like to take that time to really kind of just think and assess and prepare for the new year. So that's the plan. And we'll see how everything goes. But thank you all. And TK, thank you very much.
Yes.
Hollywood G. Gosh, I don't know where to start. Lord, wait. Okay, so Christmas holiday. I've decided this is the first time in a very long time, due to other things that have happened in my life, that family is very key. And I don't like cold weather, but I've decided to sacrifice my preference to be with family. So I am in Toronto visiting family. My dog is here too. So we'll be hanging out with my nieces for that. I'm going to attempt not to work sometime, so at least part of that day. That's the goal. There's still a lot of stuff to be done, but don't look at me like that. I'm gonna give it half a day. We're gonna still go to the gym in the morning.
I wish y'all could hear the conversations I have to have with TK, because she doesn't listen when I tell her to stop working so much. But you can't tell certain people something.
Well, if I'm gonna get the Skims deal for said, I can't be slacking on. I have to work half a day.
Oh my goodness!
Just so you know, I'm gonna need that body butter in order for that Skims deal to work. Can't have one without the other. It's counterproductive.
Oh my goodness.
I need 2 things for the wings deal, like just the wings. I can do the rest after that comes through.
Actually, there might be a wings deal could be possible. There's this local spot that might be possible. So I'm really happy about that. It's snowing, so I haven't been around snow in a long time. My dog seems to love it, so that's great. That's what I'm doing for the holidays. What I'm thankful for, unlike Professor, 2023, part of 2022. I'm going. Don't look at me like that. This is legit. 2023, and part of probably the end of 2022 was just not great. It was a terrible year. And coming out of it, 2024 didn't start great at all. And when I keep saying, I've said this on multiple occasions to different folks, where it feels like it's been 2 years, because so many amazing things have happened this year that it feels like years worth of stuff. Like, shout out to All Caribbean Wrestling. Like that really, that started because of Professor. And this is, this is thankful to the people in the chat. I'm thankful for the people in the chat, but I'm really thankful to real people, and real people meaning that people who are just genuine folks. Professor, I was like, I dig All Caribbean Wrestling. Let's get them on the show. He could have been like a gatekeeper and it's like, nah, I don't know that. And he made it happen. And now all these opportunities have come from just that one interview. Because of that, I didn't have it on my bucket list to do commentary at all, much less do commentary with Professor, which is the best person you can start to do commentary with, because there's when I get tired, there's some antics that happen. So shout out to Professor for who just he knows me, so he's just like, I'm just not even paying attention right now. So we had some really great adventures. So I'm really, really happy about that. I really love the fact that I've been able to give, help people, connect people with, certain jobs and stuff like that, and just connect with opportunities. So I'm just thankful that this year has just been really, really dope. Like, I did not have a lot of things on my bucket list, and I've done a lot, even down to Philly, like what we did in Philly. Like, I was able to meet family in Philly. I was able to hang out with Honey. Like, thankfully Honey was cool, because if Honey wasn't cool, then that would have been a whole nother story. It was really
very chill, man. I love it.
It was good. And thankful to Will, because of Will, there's so many things that are going to pop off in 2025, in particular for WWT, that I'm really, really happy about. I'm even thankful for Sed sometimes. He's cool. He gives a lot of clips and stuff like that. He will get his body better. But no, I'm just joking. I'm really thankful for folks who believe in the product, because without you guys, this would not be around. Clearly, because I work way too much, and then you guys see me less than you're supposed to see me. So I really appreciate you guys for holding it down. I appreciate everybody for the chat, for continuing to come on and chat and do that stuff. Shout out to Dylan too for being our official producer, Bosa for being our informational officer, and Amazing Lovecraft. Yeah, I've seen your name like for years, and I'm just really thankful for people who believe in me, believe in the product, because without you guys, like none of this wouldn't exist. Because believe you me, if year 3 came around and only 2 people were watching, we would have just cut that cord real quick. So I really appreciate it to y'all for that. And people joining and stuff like that. Like I am happy. This year ended off really great compared to last year. So I am thankful, and there's only more things to come. So
wait, just so everybody knows, for those who are watching and listening, what she meant is going into next year.
I got a lot left in the tank.
We're not done. We got plenty more. We're only
plenty more to
started,
go,
baby.
And what we about to do here,
cinema.
I love it.
Okay.
Did you know this, TK, that Jeffrey is an alumni of AfterBuzz? Wow.
Yeah. There are people that I feel like there have been folks that I've met on some of our ACW trips that reference that. It's really it's really like dope to see that so many people have come out of AfterBuzz that are doing amazing things. But AfterBuzz taught me so. I forgot who I was talking to, but AfterBuzz taught me so. It was on Mission Pro yesterday. AfterBuzz taught me so much that this is essentially the prototype of what AfterBuzz has done, is what WWT is. So without AfterBuzz, there would be well, there's a couple people without Xavier Woods, without AfterBuzz, and without X-Pac, WWT would not be around. And and then those first 5 interviews, Gail Kim was one of those interviews. Without those people kind of believing in this, entity, we wouldn't be around. And then the pandemic happened, and we came back, and y'all happened to find us. Like, the folks from AfterBuzz found us, and I really like appreciate that. So yeah, that's my Christmas. That's what I'm happy for. I appreciate y'all, all that stuff. Professor Hollywood G is the bomb. I could not have gone through a lot of stuff without him and Sed. So yeah, so we're upward and onward, and we doing big things.
Yeah, y'all get to see kind of the afterglow of just all of the fun. But we are really cool. Like, we couldn't have this kind of banter if we weren't. I'll say it that way.
Oh, of course.
So,
they be doing this to each other for fun.
Oh, would you look at? Oh, wait. Oh, unfortunately.
Let's say I love you and walk off.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That is TK.
That's about right.
Trust me.
That's about right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, my dog wants to come on the table. I think we good, right? Anything else you want to do for the holiday? What's happening?
Is there any favorite moment that you have from WWT this year?
Oh yeah, that's a good question.
That is a very good question.
Oh,
I have a
few.
We'll go first, honey, since you go and you can see reminiscing on the moments.
I definitely think one of my favorite moments is definitely the horsewoman debate.
Yes. Oh my Lord, that was so good.
Popping through with Honey Monet unexpectedly. I always enjoy doing my pop-ups. Y'all, being here kind of helps me bring out my personality a bit, and I'm glad y'all are real accepting of it as well.
Cool. That was fun.
But the debate was fun. Let me see. You know what else I enjoyed? I enjoyed something that didn't happen that was supposed to happen. We never got our goddamn debate.
Yeah.
Never got my goddamn debate. We never got the debate, y'all. And I know the chat will definitely attest to that because that they wanted to see it too. Y'all robbed us. Y'all robbed us just like Cody robbed us of the main event of the century. Y'all robbed us of the debate.
You know what that is? That's growth. It's growth. I told you guys. I visited Strattonville and I learned some things. That's growth.
That's my favorite moment. The rivalry we had and then what it turned into. You know what we got?
Cinema.
That's what we gave y'all. And for it to end like that, like what more do you want? Like that was the great, like that's rivalry of the year in my book. If there's an award show, we had one.
Yeah.
Ooh, I mean, you got it. I don't know.
There's a few rivalries. There's you and Mayor.
No, you and Bill might be rivalry.
Me and Bill.
There's Boss Lady and Mayor.
That's my favorite.
Boss Lady and Mayor. I didn't know I had a rivalry with Ted.
See, Sin Bill is Ted, and you two, the checks. Them are my favorite moments.
Oh my God.
Since April of last year, I've been walking around WWT with just random beefs.
Yep. And then NXT Modern. Like I just blew up. Just
that was crazy.
Walking around since April with random
meat.
Those are my favorite things. The clips. That and Dylan just every time clips.
I'm grateful for these.
Oh man.
That's awesome.
I feel like the dopest thing I saw this year was an interview, but I wasn't there. I don't think I was there.
Jeffrey. You were apologizing, Courtney. That whole so sorry.
Yeah, that was my first episode on WWT Live, but I still came back.
You came back.
I came back. And I have thick skin. So I can come. I came back.
We really were concerned that you weren't gonna come back. It was like, yo, I'm sorry. I don't know if that was us. Oh, dude, we need to reach out to her. Like we don't.
But I did come back. So,
do you have any favorite moments, Courtney?
Oh my God, I feel like anytime Councilman takes a shot at Vice City, anytime you take a shot at it, it's like, man. Sorry, but I mean,
why are we leaving the class?
But you gotta admit, anytime he tries to take a shot at Vice City,
it's funny.
It's always funny.
It is funny. I mean, the shots they take at each other are funny.
It's just really funny. I'd probably say I think the first time I did a watch along for AEW and Dylan was on the chat so much, like poking me, like how everybody pokes the bear just like Orange Cassidy, and I'm just like, nope, I'm not doing it. But I just crack up so much. I think that was my first watch along I did for Dynamite. That was pretty funny. But yeah, the chat between the mayor and Sindel.
That's top.
I
That's
just
top.
can't.
Y'all are crazy, yo.
That's the debate I want right there. My challenge still stands. If Cindel will come on screen, I will debate her in any topic of her choice.
Oh.
Wow. Well, there it is.
I'm here.
Do you have any favorite moments, said?
Obviously the victory lap I took after Battleground. Obviously that was great. That was great. Episode, that was great.
After Battleground.
But no, I was gonna say the Horsewoman debate was dope, but the episode that I really liked listening to that I couldn't be a part of, I think, was the Josiah episode.
Yeah.
Was
that this year?
Mm-hmm.
We did a lot this year.
We did a lot this year.
That was this year. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Wow.
I guess Will. Did you say your moment?
Oh, I've been throwing them out.
Professor.
I will definitely, all things 416 is just downright hilarious to me. It's just, man, yeah, it was, and I think any of those post trip moments were always hilarious because I don't think people were as prepared for that dynamic. And when we shared those stories, they were like, oh, okay, we got a thing here. So I definitely think those, and geesh, there are so many stories now. So those were definitely some of my favorite moments. And I wrestled with whether or not I should say this. But I will say I think the moments when people try us.
Yeah,
I was waiting for you.
I was with when he come out. Oh, yo.
Oh, I missed it. I missed that episode.
It did happen at least 3 times, and it's like,
yeah.
Hey, Professor, gonna do this. I need somebody to drop that Ric Flair video.
Oh yeah.
Ric Flair.
None.
Cousin Ron. Oh man.
Wow.
Man.
Yeah,
every time he done it, we gotta go to commercial. We're like, go buy some merch.
Not for nothing. Cindy's clapbacks be my favorite in the chat.
They are great. They are great.
I love everybody in the chat. Cindy, when she's on that rocket,
yeah,
I don't bother her, man.
Yeah, good times. Good times. Good times. Shout out to, again, all of you. Thank you for joining us. And we've had a lot of fun with you guys this year.
Oh, and TK's attempt of trying to do analogies.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Never gets old.
And she does it everywhere. Yeah. I'm just telling you, everywhere. You just sit back and you go, yeah. She went 0 to 60. And I just said, ma'am.
It's like when you cheating on your wife and she'd have kicked you out and locked the house and you can't get in no more.
Yeah.
It's like, what? It's amazing. Like, you can't even, like.
I think I remember that. I think I remember an analogy similar to that one time where she was talking about like referencing like another partner or like like a side piece or something with married people and being like.
As if any of us were going to be able to co-sign on that. And it was like
sorry,
she's like,
right?
No, I'm like, no, I don't know. Sorry,
I don't actually. I don't.
And if I did, I wouldn't say it here. What in the world?
My analogy be popping.
I love it.
I mean, I definitely love the Marin Keltman debate. Cindel has been some good ones. I definitely love when Dylan be quick with those videos.
Yeah, he does.
Somebody also referenced it. I think Bosa referenced it yesterday when we were playing the Sexy Red Pound Town video in Professor's face. I thought that was last year. That was this year.
That was earlier this year. I remember that. I had just joined y'all too.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That was a great moment for you guys who weren't there. I did some editing work for Ariane for Pound Town Wrestling, and it's Pound Town Wrestling, so why not use the sound Pound Town? So I played the commercial, and Professor's face listening to the lyrics was just cinema.
Yo, Professor's facial expressions. Oh yeah, top tier. Top tier.
Oh yeah, oh my gosh, I can't wait till we have to hold it. There are so many stories. There's so many more stories in the year that we have to tell you.
Oh man.
But yeah, I mean the 416 was very interesting. I see how nobody understands where I was coming from, but I get it, so I guess it's the most important thing. But
do
yeah,
do you get it though?
I do get it.
I don't think so.
If he said any other combination of three numbers,
I wish I could tell another story from something that just happened, but I wish I could.
You could probably tell it off here. You can't tell it right.
Yeah, I can't just it doesn't register. Yeah.
Oh God.
I am for the 416. But with that being said, from the 416 in the 416, having to actually go out in the 416 streets to meet folks and kiss babies. It's time to get out of here.
She's meeting people, kissing babies, so she's the true Hollywood one.
And the head of the table.
When you shake your head,
the head of the table,
a whole nother level.
I'm trying to get Said his Skims deal. What you all want from me?
I am show and tell.
What? What are we?
Oh boy. Listen. There are not many times where I am rendered speechless. I was stuck. This woman said, "I was the show and tell." Oh,
say what?
Okay.
I love the confidence, though. I love the confidence.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Unmatched. I can't even say the rest. I want to say it so bad. I'm not gonna say it though.
Oh my God!
Where can everybody find you?
In lieu of the holiday spirit, I don't want to be found, but you can DM me on all social media platforms at TK Trinidad requesting body butter. Since everybody else got some and I didn't, and Christmas is in like 4 days, that would be my Christmas wish, everybody. And then I believe I will be doing a Monday Night Mayor on Monday for y'all, just 2 days out for Christmas. So keep it locked for that.
Get an extra check for that. Courtney, where can everybody find you?
They can always find me here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on WWT Live. You know, every Wednesday I do my watch along for Dynamite. I will not be doing a watch along next Wednesday because it is Christmas Day. But I may be doing a watch along for January 1st because that's the day AEW Dynamite goes on Max. So it's a possibility I may be doing a watch along then. So you can always come along to Storm Zero Central, Cassidyville, whatever you want to call it, on Wednesday nights to rock with me. You can also follow me on @CourtneyNJ11 on Twitter and Instagram. Also, before I forget, if you are in Gloucester County, New Jersey area, I've been working closely with Bell to Bell, which is an all-women's independent wrestling company, and they have their first show set for 2025, Bell of the Brawl, on Saturday, January 18th, and it's a possibility yours truly may be doing commentary for a few matches, so I need to get all the details there, but I will let you guys know then. But feel free to follow them on Instagram and have a lot more fun planning as we close out 2024.
Right. Honey,
enjoy a guy that knows how to play the trombone.
Oh my God!
That's how you close it out with clips, Dylan. That's how you close it out with right now.
All right. Well, honey, where could everybody find you?
You guys can find me here, but in the next couple of weeks, you'll just find me on the socials at All Things Wrestling with Honey, Wrestling with Honey, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, as well as like and subscribe to YouTube, Wrestling with Honey podcast. There were no Honey Pot predictions because everything was pre-taped. So there's a lot of spoilers going around and a lot of people know a lot of things. So put a halt on that. But Honey Pot predictions will resume for the new year. Until then, I hope everybody has a wonderful, safe, and blessed holiday. And we're doing the watch along in about 15 minutes. So make sure you guys stick around. And we got the post show too. So got a lot to get into. And we're going into 3-hour SmackDowns, which means longer SmackDown watch alongs, guys. Yay.
Allegedly.
I'm going to get no sleep. Let's hope so.
Allegedly.
Oh boy.
Will, Councilman Farrell, where can everybody find you?
You can find me this holiday at Walmart teaching Santa Claus how to crip walk, just because I like to give back to the kids. As Santa Claus has to remain entertaining. And you can also find me this Tuesday, since no one's doing nothing for Christmas, and due to unforeseen circumstances these last 2 weeks, I've missed out on NXT. So we're going to do a Christmas Eve NXT watch along. Cedric may jump in. He'll do the festive. I'm not doing the my festive will be the spirits. The Yuletide spirits will be here. I cannot fit any Christmas attire for some reason. I have a big ass head. We're not doing it. Not happening. Okay. If I got a Christmas shirt, so Christmas pendant. That's what we'll do. Christmas pendant right here for y'all. But you can join me for the watch along NXT. I was bummed I missed the last 2 weeks, so I want to be able to close out the year on the holiday, make it dope. And so, that's where you'll be able to find me.
Professor Hollywood G, where can everybody find you?
You can find me at my new handle, STS. That is Show, Tell, and Snatch. STS. Show, Tell, and Snatched. Yeah, you can find me.
All right.
Yeah. So doing commentary work, of course, with Ashe Wrestling at AsheWrestling.com. Remember, January 9th, the brand new episodic show for Ashe begins on the Ashe Wrestling YouTube page. 30-minute show where you'll be able to get caught up with all things Ashe Wrestling from the very beginning. That's exciting. Of course, All Caribbean Wrestling. Download the mobile app now. Available on iOS, available on Android, Roku soon. But iOS is available now. You can actually pay $8.99 and see the entire catalog of All Caribbean Wrestling. And even if you don't, you'll get to see an interview with TK and Mark Henry, among some other things that are there for free on the app. Let's see. We just dropped a brand new show from Southern Honor on IWTV, so make sure you guys go check that out. Also, we had a live show with IWE on IWTV. Had a Nightmare Factory show this past Tuesday that should be hitting with you guys really, really soon. And I hope I didn't miss anything. If I did, I'm very, very sorry. But we're looking forward to a very, very successful 2025. I wish that for all of you and for me. So thank you guys again.
And that's why we call him Hollywood G. With that being said, thank you guys so much for joining. You can follow me on everything at TK Trinidad. Make sure you follow Women's Wrestling Talk on all social media platforms. I don't think we announced it. So our shows are going to be kind of sporadic throughout next week. So we will be taking some days off, but there will be some shows here and there. We'll make those announcements on our stories and on Twitter and stuff like that for you guys to check that out. But if you are dying for some WWT stuff, you can definitely go back to all our interviews or go back to WWT, the news show live, because there's a lot of stuff that's funny stuff there as well. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching Women's Wrestling Talk. Happy holidays, happy Kwanzaa, happy Hanukkah, Feliz Navidad, all that stuff. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. Ciao, y'all.
This episode of Women's Wrestling Talk has been brought to you by All Caribbean Wrestling. Catch the wave. Go to allcaribbeanwrestling.com to check out all the latest pay-per-views or go on the YouTube page at All Caribbean Wrestling. Also, go and check out their socials on Instagram at All Caribbean Wrestling and on X at All Caribbean WR1.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms, like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.